Hello friends, welcome to Sai Academy. Hope you all are good and doing well. Now I am going to discuss with you. In this video lecture, we will be discussing about the relationship among angular variables and among linear and angular variables. So we will cover two topics in this video lecture. The first is the relationship among angular variables, and second is the relationship among linear and angular variables. So let's start. Friends, if you like this video, share with friends, and if you are watching this video for the first time, subscribe the channel and press the bell icon for the notification of the upcoming videos. So friends, let's start for the relationship among angular variables. Friends, these are the equations known as the rotational motion equation, and it may be written as omega is equal to omega naught plus alpha t. Theta is equal to omega naught t plus half alpha t square, and omega square is equal to omega naught square plus 2 alpha theta, where omega is the angular speed after time t, omega naught is the initial angular speed, and alpha is the acceleration, angular acceleration. Theta is the angular displacement. So friend, we now derive these three equations one by one. Equation A, equation B, and equation C. So let's start. So by the definition, we know that alpha angular acceleration may be written as d omega by dt, that is d omega is equal to alpha dt. We are considering the case when a particle is moving along a circle, radius of the circle is r. So if in time t the angular velocity of the particle changes from omega naught to omega, then in that case integral d omega omega naught to omega becomes equal to alpha 0 to t dt. And if alpha angular acceleration is constant, then omega minus omega naught is equal to alpha t, which gives omega is equal to omega naught plus alpha t. So this is the equation. Now let's derive the equation number B. By definition, angular speed may be given by d theta by dt, then equation A becomes, that is omega is equal to omega naught plus alpha t may be written as d theta by dt is equal to omega naught plus alpha t, that is d theta is equal to omega naught plus alpha t into dt. So if in time t, the angular displacement is theta, then integrating the equation d theta is equal to integrating omega naught plus alpha t dt 0 to theta and time from 0 to t, which becomes theta is equal to omega naught t 0 to t plus half alpha t square 0 to t, which gives theta is equal to omega naught t plus half alpha t square. So this is the equation B. Now eliminating t between equation A and B, we get omega square is equal to omega naught square plus 2 alpha theta. So these are the desired equation which we wanted to prove. These are known as the equations of rotational motion, analogous to the equations of rotational motion. There are equations of translatory motions, which are v is equal to u plus at, s is equal to ut plus half at square, and v square is equal to u square plus 2as, where v and u are the speeds of particle or body at time t is equal to t and u is time t is equal to 0 respectively, and a is the linear acceleration and s is the linear displacement of the particular body. Now we will discuss about the relationships among linear and angular variables. For this, let us consider a particle P moving on a circle of radius r, and if in time dt its linear displacement along the arc is ds and its angular displacement about the center is d theta, then by the definition of angle d theta is equal to arc by radius, which gives ds is equal to r d theta. Now differentiating this equation, suppose this is equation number 1, with respect to t we get ds by dt is equal to r d theta by dt. Since radius of the circle is constant, which gives linear velocity v is equal to r omega. So this is equation number 2, where v is the linear speed of the particle along the tangent at any time t. So this is the tangent on the circle at any time t, and this gives the direction of the linear velocity, and theta d theta by dt, which is equal to omega, is the angular speed of the particle about O. So now let's differentiate this equation number 2 again with respect to time t. This gives dv by dt is equal to d by dt into r omega, where r is constant, therefore d omega by dt. But dv by dt represents the magnitude of the tangential acceleration of the particle, that is at is equal to r. d omega by dt represents the angular acceleration of the particle, that is alpha. So this is the new equation and represents the relationship between the tangential acceleration and the angular acceleration. And this tangential acceleration is along the tangent to the circle at any time t. Now there is another radial acceleration ar, which is addition to the tangential acceleration, and that is given by ar is equal to v square by r is equal to r omega square. To prove that the radial acceleration of the particle is equal to v square by r is equal to r omega square, let us consider that the particle is moving along a circle of radius r. Initially, the velocity of the particle is v1, and after time t, the velocity of the particle becomes v2. The particle is moving with the uniform speed, that is, the magnitude of the velocity of the particle v1 is equal to v2 is equal to v. Only variation is in the direction of the motion of the particle. And let us consider that after time t, the particle suffers a angular displacement theta. Then change in its velocity can be written as delta v is equal to v2 minus v1 is equal to v2 plus bracket v1 vector. Since the magnitude of the velocity of the particle is uniform, therefore this equation becomes delta v is equal to v square plus v square plus 2v cos of 180 minus theta, which is equal to v 2 1 minus cos theta, implies that delta v is equal to 2v sin theta by 2. So this is the change in the velocity. Now this velocity is directed along the radius towards the center. Now as theta is equal to s by r is equal to v into delta t divided by r, that is delta t is equal to theta r by v. Now using two equations we can write for the radial acceleration AR is equal to delta V divided by delta T is equal to 2V sin theta by 2 divided by theta r by V, which is equal to V square by r sin theta by 2 divided by theta by 2, or AR is equal to V square by r, as in the limit theta by 2 tends to 0, sin theta by 2 divided by theta by 2 tends to unity. Therefore, radial acceleration AR is equal to V square by r. We have used the equation 1 minus cos theta is equal to 2 sin square theta by 2. So we have now two types of acceleration, radial acceleration and tangential acceleration. So radial acceleration AR is equal to V square by r, and tangential acceleration AT is equal to r alpha. We will discuss about the some important features of the radial and tangential acceleration. From these four equations, it is clear that for a rigid body, as angular variables theta, omega and alpha are same for all points on the body, the corresponding linear variables S, V, T, AT and AR will depend on radius. Greater the distance of point from the axis of rotation, greater will be the value of S, V, AT and AR. Next, since in a circle as tangent and radius are always normal to each other, so the tangential acceleration and radial acceleration will always be perpendicular to each other, and therefore the resultant acceleration of the particle in case of circular motion will be given by A is equal to square root AR square plus AT square. Therefore, we can see that AT governs the magnitude of the velocity, while AR gives the direction of motion. Therefore, it is worthy to note that if AR is equal to 0 and AT is equal to also 0, then in that case total acceleration will be 0. That is, motion will be uniformly translatory. Now if AR is equal to 0 but AT is not equal to 0, then in that case total acceleration will be equal to tangential acceleration, and in this case motion is accelerated translatory. Next, if air is not equal to 0 but at is equal to 0, then in that case acceleration will be only radial acceleration and motion will be uniform circular. Further, if both air and at are not 0, in that case A will be given by this equation and motion will be non-uniform circular. So these are the points which I wanted to discuss with you all. If you like this video lecture, please give the likes and subscribe the channel and share with your friends so that they can also learn with this important article. Thank you.